See, they are breaking. They realize that their game plan does not work anymore. We negate again 2 for 1. I'm not even talking about Shelly, that will completely finish their career. And let's enjoy the glory of no win con scoops. See? Win cons are overrated. And the Fish of Doom, like, will force you out of this game. You know it will happen. And oh no, there's another. There is another. And they already can smell the smell of death. Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and today there is a judgment day on the channel because we made deck so insanely extreme that it literally cannot lose to mono red. And you don't see the deck because you are not ready. Hear me out. The only thing that right now you need in standard is to kill every single creature, and we will prove with today's video that you can rank up by just killing every single creature and doing absolutely nothing else. And behold the final creation. Here it is in full glory. Deck that does absolutely nothing except killing every single creature. We play 22 lands and 35 removal spells. That's all you need. The only win con we have in the whole deck: Verge of Persistence backside, or the enchantment side, Sheoldred, and Fountainport. To start getting extra fish, you will see some brutal lethals, alright? Those fish are deadly. You will know it after today's video. So guys, I wanted to prove a point, and we'll show you the stats after, you know, the whole games, and you will see that you can actually beat standard by playing nothing but removal. So I honestly think there's so much fun to be had with today's video, so I think you will like it. And yeah, if mono red or rabbits ever hurt you, alright? This is your day of vengeance. This will be the cleansing. Alright, I hope you will enjoy it. And before we go into the games, I want to say a huge thank you to our absolute legend for today, Mauditi Mau. Thank you for allowing this masterpiece of standard to be created. I hope you will really like it and have a lot of fun. And just thank you for supporting the channel. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, let's go into the games and have some fun. I need some juicy aggro decks to get my good win rate. Rabbit, thank you. Alright, guys, we're in for some rabbit killing for this game, and I'm pretty sure he already lost. Isn't this hilarious? Like, the game didn't even start, he is losing it super hard. So, I mean, we can keep killing a creature a turn. So, the only problem is Offspring, because that will create 2 creatures in one. And with this card, he's super incentivized to go for multiple cards. Like, he wants to pay 3 mana and Offspring 2 rabbits, and I think he will do it. Or just create 3 rabbits. Cool. So that will force a Shelly probably. They play Get Lost, so this will be a bit of a problem. This is definitely one of the most irritating cards for us, so, you know, we need to work. We will have to work. We probably will have to take some damage from those rabbits and try to get Sheoldred to stabilize us. The Might Caller. Enters, put... Okay, so this is always getting the counter. That's important. They probably want to pump it. Perfect. Oh man, if they combined it with this, that would be so painful. So we try to be efficient. We need to make sure that every card trades for a card. So they only have 2 cards. We should be drawing more removal. Let's not make a mistake, alright? So this would hit something, so it's not a bad card against them, but if we are to mitigate the damage, this is probably the best way. Push and pull, that's an interesting one. But I probably want to make sure that... So basically we are waiting for the 4th land, then we play Shelly and then we win. But we need to keep the board low until that point. Push and pull won't be easy to use. We can push some extra damage maybe in the last turn of the game, so, you know, Sheoldred burns them, and then we go for an extra punch that they never expected. Is that a rope? Let's see what they have seen. Well, well, this is not a secret what is going on with this, you know, deck building. So let's see it. A Knight Errant of Eos, a natural card advantage. Perfect. I'll have to say it. This is the hilarious part. With tools like this, they actually get card advantage. They fully missed. We will have some fun with the owls, And I need those sleeves. I'm having so much fun with them. So, and this is go for the throat target for sure. We need to be smart with removal because we're running low on it. Of course, we won't draw a land. I mean, I would really love to draw a land at some point. We don't play too many, but we still should be able to carve out to 4, especially if aggro decks do not have any troubles in this. So, whiffing fully with Knight Errant of Chaos is a really huge deal. That was their game-winning play, to be absolutely honest. But they will have more, right? They will just keep drawing cards. I'm sure of it. 2 damage. So, do we remove one of them? I don't think we do. We are at 16 with Sheoldred in the hand. I think this should be good enough. I will actually do it because that makes Knight of Chaos weaker. And I just need to make sure that they can never overwhelm us. I'm doing a lot of removal, so that means that I should be fine. And honestly, it seems... I think they might have get lost in the hand. So I will start using the Fountainport to get the... because they are not playing creatures. So what those cards can be? It's not Knight of Chaos because they didn't go for it. So I think the only choice is that it's get lost. And they will misplay and use it on the token, I think. That's my guess. Because they think that we don't play creatures or, you know, they don't need the answer. Right? They really need to think if they allow this Fountainport or they, you know, just... conjure Earthly Resurrected and counter the ability. So they aren't not sure they are on defense on display, and they decided to not play Earthly and counter the spell. Alright, empty board. Alright, I have no idea what they have. I really think this is double get lost, or something like this. I will make the fish until I see a removal. I want to pressure them because most likely they will whiff on most of the turns with the creature. And we will basically never whiff. And now we can start pressuring and hopefully get the removal. A Sheoldred is kinda important to finishing the game, so I don't want to waste it. That was 0 priority. That was a priority. I don't know what's going on. Am I crazy or they did not have the priority? Maybe they have something that kills an attacking creature, like Elspeth's Smite? Is that possible? I've never seen it used. Alright, so they had get lost and they actually kept it. But now we can use the map tokens on the fish, so we can basically use this as a finisher. And we can always go for push and pull at the late game. So they won't be able to outvalue us. Yep, and we have 3 removal spells on top of everything they have. I wonder if that's another get lost or what? Man, they're really tanking on this, like, bro. And aggro players are complaining that control players are playing slow. Like, come on, at least we have cards in our hands, you know? So let's go for this one. We can also try to hit more lands, which is actually really important here. And let's see if they go for the play. And listen, I have plenty. I really have plenty. I just want to get those extra lands for Virtue, so I can win game even faster. Alright, we are starting to pressure them. Like, when you have one card, you have sometimes some decisions, but then you make up your mind, you know what you are going to do, and there's no point in thinking again. Like, nothing changed, it's the same situation as before. Yep, the Fish of Doom. It will kill you, and you know it. Okay, this is the best card they could get. 2 for 1 instantly. So we have to Disfigure right now. And we'll use Virtue of Persistence probably, just to be efficient with the cards. On average, they will draw less creatures than we draw removal. And... I mean, sure, this doesn't really do anything, right? I don't want to sacrifice anything. Oh man, this is such a good card. But I still want to go for this. And the Fish of Doom, like, will force you out of this game, you know it will happen. This fish is so scary that all your rabbits combined cannot match it, as we can see in the game. And oh no, there's another, and they already can smell the smell of death on the ladder. They know how it ends. They don't want to accept it because they lost to this. Oh my god, 8 removal spells. Not enough, not enough. We needed more. Alright. and you know what the fish will do to aggro players. That's why we play Fountainport, Virtue of Persistence, and Sheoldred. Even though we don't invest anything into win cons, basically, we have actually quite a lot of win cons that are, you know, enough to close the game, and that's all you need. Yep. Even if they draw cards, like we can negate 4 of their top creatures from the library, so they need at least 5 turns, unless they draw like triple token. I tell you, man, this one card is absolutely melding their decision making. I want to know what the card is. It must be something with like 5 different modes. It's definitely not a Get Lost, right? I mean, they don't have an option. If they kill a fish, situation did not change. I mean, I'm not even emoting. At this point, it just doesn't make any sense. Alright, we swing. This time it's triple fish, the game-winning combination. They're still in the game. They're actually still in the game. I should probably go for a push and pull, but you know, I'm having a little bit too much fun with just killing aggro players with fish. Like, you have to admit it's kinda hilarious, and especially that it seems that we are actually crashing with this deck, so we'll rank like crazy with this. The deck that does absolutely nothing except killing creatures. And as you can see, we can always kill those creatures. Sure, you got it. You earned it, my friend. I'm proud of you. They can do it again. And again. And again. So this does absolutely nothing. We make our fish, because we don't want to lose our fish for the turn. I think they still have hope. We need to make sure that it doesn't happen again. Let's play a land. So we have 7 mana only. Only 7 mana. Unfortunately, I have to go with the play. And I think Edict is kinda good here. Here we go. You know that those fish will end your career, my friend. Don't fight it, just let it happen. You know it's unavoidable. We are a true villain arc right now. And the best part? I mean, they will have to scoop whatever they draw. Yep. Is that Get Lost? Was that the Get Lost all this time? That was this whole decision making? I want to know the last card. Put +1 on each creature. Really? Really, that was the whole play. They had no creatures when they were considering this. There were no artifacts and no enchantments. Oh man. So sure, you get it? I think we'll draw the card first. We are winning on the next turn, so don't you worry. On each, sure. I mean, they are doing it. That's a 9/9 with a single card. Wait. I actually want to make more fish. As long as we have enough fish, nothing can hurt us. And let's show our opponent the true might of this deck. And that it wasn't even close. And here comes the fish of doom. You know you need to... Man, this must be such a great experience to get absolutely destroyed by a fish token every turn. And at least they took the hit. So I appreciate it. They took the hit bravely. And yeah, I mean, we are just climbing this ladder. Alright guys, our opponent is on the play. And let's see it. Is that red? Yes it is. Yes it is. Listen, here we go. With this kind of deck you don't need to catch them 2 for 1, because you will catch them 2 for 1 anyway. And if you can keep it from fizzing, the cut down, that's all you need basically. Alright, they will pump it probably, right? Okay, man, I tell you, all you need is removal. So I think with Edict we can ignore the toughness. So if they attack, they instantly lose the creature basically. However much they pump it, it does not matter. Okay, this is actually a stronger creature, so if you want to Edict, this one is better target anyway. Alright, 3 damage. No pump, huh? That means no win. They need to pump, otherwise they will be too slow. And let's start, shall we? Long goodbye. We lost 2 extra life, but that means we are guaranteed to not allow the pump. Which would be more than 2 damage probably. See, like they're waiting with something and they don't realize what they met here. We are a true monster against Mono Red. Like they simply cannot win against us. Our whole deck just kills them. Oh, lands? I don't need them. We could go for Virtue of Persistence. I mean, we could. But let's see what they have in stock, because we trained our opponent to know that we don't react where they don't buff creatures. So now they should be more likely to buff creatures, which means, you know, we get extremely good trade. And with all this stuff, they cannot really do much. 2 damage, go for it, my red champion. They need to start casting spells, otherwise they don't do anything. Alright, the fun part is that they think we don't have enough. Oh boy, we do. We absolutely do. We can do it for days, and they have no way of drawing more creatures than we have a removal in our hand. A land? Perfect. We're on our way to go for Shelly. And honestly, we don't really need to do literally anything. Like, this is how powerful this deck is against Mono. You basically cannot lose. Alright, so let's see it. Double mouse, a very good play for our opponent, so this will be double strike. So that means we will go with Edict, while this is small, because they want to target it, double strike, and that will be already, what, 4 damage? And now we can go with a cut down, because we know exactly what is going on. And we only leave the 1/1 mouse in the board. That doesn't really do much. So this will deal 2 damage a turn, and we can absolutely go around it. I mean, this is so tempting. This is so tempting. You know what? Let's play it, because I really don't think they can go around it. Like, they need to deal 14 damage. I guess we could Virtue and Cease and Desist, so maybe that was a bit of a risky play. But, wow, double burn. Are you serious? Alright, they are learning to play removal in their aggro deck. Alright, 2 damage acquired then. So let's sit. We will Virtue of Persistence this, and they will have nothing, and we can win with Fountainport always. Oh, this is a cool one. But I still prefer this more. Just because it gives us a card for future. And yeah, I mean, that's kinda it. We will cycle into more removal, so don't you worry. That's the point of this deck. You always draw more removal than they have creatures, and as you can see, they killed Shelly, they scoop anyway, because moment they don't have creatures, they don't play magic. Oh, I'm so sad. I wanted to see, like, you know, every second game as Mono Red, but it seems that we are not getting there. So we will have to cycle a lot of cards, kill every creature, and try to go for a Virtue of Persistence to win the game. I mean, here's our first victim. They know about the cut down, but they don't know that our whole deck is removal based, so they think we only have this as the next play. I will probably not get rid of the creatures. Sure. That should be Anoint with Affliction. They are not prepared for what will happen to them. As long as you can trade card for card with this deck, you are kinda okay with it. We should get additional land or 2 with all those Cease and Desists. Alright, we need to cheat this win, man. Like, we need to cheat it. I need 7 mana as soon as possible, maybe some Fountainports. We're definitely... Okay, that's the first one. Listen, this is risky, but we're going with it. By our targeting, our opponent should know that we actually want to reanimate those creatures, because we definitely seem to be playing Virtue. Oh, red? Oh boy, he's so cooked. And you know what's the best part? We don't even remove it, because it's actually perfect for us, because that will save our Virtue of Persistence from any kind of duressing for the rest of the game. So that means we are guaranteed to play it. And now they will be forced to answer it. Here we go, man. Even the matchmaker cannot stop us. Like, I think we will actually win this. Man, this is crazy. And we can kill every creature they will ever play. Like, this will probably find a target, and the rest goes... Oh my god, are you serious? What are we starting to meet right now? This is crazy, man. They can search for a perfect card. Yep, enjoy, my friend. Enjoy. The full glory. The card is something I'm a little bit scared of, to be honest. So we have 6 mana. If we go for a treasure, we are guaranteed to go for the Virtue, so let's go for it. Okay, fortunately we don't have to use it. Listen. I have to go for it. I have to go for it now. I'm not sure if they have a single card that answers it, but if they do, they're in a decent spot. We will kill another creature that they will get with cruelty, but I really need this virtue. That's my whole, big plan. No way I find the cruelty of geeks in the cruel crow deck suddenly. With duresses and bats. Oh man. I mean, I really want to win this game. I really want to. And I think we have a fair shot. So what can be the card that answers virtue? There is some, black 3 mana exile enchantment cards. So that's the first one that comes to my mind. This is a hard choice for them. They need to win the game on this card, basically. They know every creature ever will just, die to our removal. And they probably have at least like 2 creatures here. That's my guess. It's interesting. I'm not sure exactly how they use Cruel Crow, because I see low converted mana cost. Usually you build the deck like, you don't have cheap stuff and you just go for the big ones. The Viper is that read the play. Lose for life. Absolutely. Oh, right. Okay, so do I go with... Oh, I should make a stop. That was such a big misplay on my part. Alright, we will try to work with it. Deals combat damage, exile cards from the top of your library. Non-land cards, so we will hit removal. So I think we go with the Bronco then. Man, what a weird choice from a Virtue of Persistence. But we have to go for it. We will kill it, but we will kill it after this triggers. Okay, I kinda butchered, to be honest. Like, we should be having a Viper already, and that's a big deal. And I probably won't exile it. Yeah, they need to answer Virtue. We can defend against it. So now we want to kill the Viper. This is a good way to do it, because this is our Viper. Our opponent doesn't know. Well, he knows it. He knows it exactly. And we probably don't want to exile the Cruel Crow just to have a backup creature. And we can either draw cards or make more fish. How you saddle? I mean, we can saddle this. This is so cool. I will probably just go for... Well, the Anoint with Affliction is so tempting, man. Alright, do you think they will go for Chapter 1 again? I think they will go for the Viper, but they know about go for the Throat. Alright, searching for a perfect card. That makes sense. They kinda can predict what we will be doing. Even from the way that we kill the Viper. So man, if we can beat also, non-aggro decks with this one, I'm just so happy. So we take the Viper. But they will sacrifice this, right? Then they don't lose anything. So we need to kill it now. You know what? I'm just going with it. I also have the Bronco. I can saddle it. So if we can just keep going, it's good enough. Let's draw a card. Yep, you better highlight it, because that's the only thing you can do. And 4 damage to their face is nothing to scoff at. Like, they're in the situation they don't want to take so much damage, especially against the Bronco Saddle, right? Here's the Carnosaur. Let's do it. We know how to use those cards. We've been playing with them. And let's see what we hit. Probably a removal spell. Well, here you go. Don't ask me how I knew. Alright, so they can reanimate the Carnosaur, but I think we will be able to kill all the creatures and just go with the Viper. I'm not sure what they are taking. I would love to have, Cease and Desist. This would be such a perfect hit. Alright, what is the card? A cut down, you know what? Probably not the most glorious hit. It still actually is really good, but at least we can get back the Bronco, right? Yeah, I think we're actually winning against non-aggro deck just with those Virtues and Fountainport, which was kind of the idea, that we have the backup plan if, if everything else fails. And oh boy, they had double tutor, because their deck would lose really hard to mono red probably. Well, maybe. It feels like they are aimed at decks like ours that are a bit, less aggressive, and they're really going over the top with a double cruelty. I guess they can use this as a channel, but yeah, as you can see, they just cannot beat Virtue of Persistence, because I'm pretty sure they don't have the answer to this in their whole deck. They tutored twice and still lost to us. Let's sit. Are you a red? I mean, they definitely give a feeling of a red player, you know? But let's sit. Yep, and they are. They are. So we have a lot of work to do on this game. We will try to go for one here. We don't have 1 mana removal, so, you know, we need to be efficient with our removal so we can remove every creature they will ever play. Their 2-drops are pretty slow, like they cost 2 mana, can you imagine? So, yeah, this could be interesting. I won't play in the combat phase, like this is not enough damage to kill us. So we just pass the turn and see if they pump, they lose. If they don't pump, they lose. So, you know, you get the idea. We don't have any exile effect, so let's go for this one. I mean, this cannot be countered, so it's very, very cool against the mouse. I would love to... What? Magic? Don't tell me it crashed. Okay, cool. So we are killing the hero. This way with the knight 2 cards, we basically don't get any damage. 2 is nothing in this situation. And yeah, I mean, oh boy, we already got the win. Oh, this game will be so one-sided, it's crazy. And normally you need to be careful about this damage that they do early game, but with this deck you can ensure that you will kill every single creature. That means if you take 7 damage, it doesn't matter, because they will never deal the remaining 12. So you can actually ignore your life total way more than with other decks. Or maybe he was just thinking, 1 minute, which red creature they will play. I have no idea, man. I've been playing mono red. After you play 10 games, you basically go autopilot at this point. Like, you know, like Slickshot is one of the best plays you can make. Sure, 2 damage. We can live game this much? Did they really think so much about casting Slickshot? Well, I guess so. Maybe they weren't sure how much removal we have, but the answer is always yes, we have more. We have more. Oh, it's so fun to keep drawing removal every single turn and know that this deck literally cannot win against you. Because all they bank on is that you don't draw removal. Their whole strategy is, I hope he won't draw removal in time. So when you make the deck that always draw removal, they have no counterplay basically. Now we can sweep the board basically at instant speed. And every time they attack for 2, we completely ignore it. See? They are breaking. They realize that their deck, their game plan does not work anymore. So now we go for the throat, we negate again 2 for 1, and they're not dealing any damage, man. Like 3 is something we can absolutely buffer. I'm not even talking about Shelly that will completely finish their career. And let's enjoy the glory of no win-con scoops. See? Win-cons are overrated. If you can kill creatures, they always scoop. They always scoop. Alright, opponent goes first. We don't care because we have removal for days, so if they're on the play, it's actually better for us, as long as they play creatures, and oh boy, you know they do. You know they do. So let's not give our opponent information that we have removal. A Beast Caller. What do you do? It's Warrior. Honestly, I think we will go with the Beast Caller. Our opponent knows that there is removal. They will probably still attack, because why not? And we get rid of the bigger creature, so, you know, we trade a little bit better. In the worst case, this can literally stay forever. Like, we are okay with it. And let's not show Blast Zone yet. I could kill it with Virtue, but I like to play at instant speed if I can. Because that gives less information for our opponent. So for example, sure. For example, if they know what type of deck we are playing, they could go a little bit differently. Let's go with a cut down here. Just to make sure that we get all the value every turn. Every turn we need to keep killing a creature. Alright? I think this might be the time for a Blast Zone. Let's check the priority. Well, there is something. That could be a protection spell or just the ability. I think it's just ability, but I'm not risking it. So we pass the turn here. As you can see, we're at 19. Alright. So this means we can go for what? Well, I guess we can just exile with Anoint with Affliction, so we don't really need to react here. And I will take this 3 damage because I don't think it will matter at all. And this might give me better decisions. I mean, this is way better target, right? At least for now. So let's exile this one. And our opponent is starting to realize what he is playing against. And the outcome is obvious. So we could go for the Virtue. I don't think they can buff it, but I don't think it's worth the risk. We cannot make, like, we need to make sure that every removal trades against every creature. That's the whole point. Well, enjoy, because you will only find instant removal in this whole deck. Alright, that will be a long goodbye. It ignores everything they have, so even if they buff a creature, it still dies. As you can see, 0 win cons needed. Alright, this is a pretty low removal hand for our deck, but we will get more. Let's see the first creature that will die. Well, you are dead, my friend. You are so dead. So whenever this becomes the target, mice. Alright, so it doesn't pump toughness and it barely pumps the stats, so I'm pretty sure they are already losing this game. Like, I don't think they can beat us. And even though our removal is for 1 mana, so it's not like guaranteed kill, we'll make every card a guaranteed kill. Sure. I want to sit. It looks like they have pump spells and they are trying to lowball them, but we'll start killing creatures at the end step, and with this deck, you always have enough. Okay, this is a nice one. So let's kill the Swordmaster. I should probably go for the quest core, but don't you worry, like, we'll just kill, you know, it with a different spell, so I don't really pay too much attention here. Let's go for this one. So we keep trading card for card. We want to cycle those two, so probably Disfigure would be the perfect hit. Alright, and it's a 2-1 mana. I think they are slowly out of the cards. I think they actually are. They have something. Alright, so we keep this hand because if they don't do anything, we start cycling, which is great for us. If they do something, the Offspring. Of course, 2-4-1. That's the classic. Alright, so that means we have to disfigure this, right? Because this is their target. And then we can cycle. I guess we have Virtue. They don't really use this in any way. But 1 shouldn't be a problem. Alright, and we cycle it into... Alright, Lance. I expected more removal, but it's fine. We will draw removal, don't you worry. We have only removal in this deck. Sure, as you can see. And we have the Fountainport, which is nice. We can actually start trading it. 21. Okay, this will be interesting turn. I could kill this, but there's no point. Because they need to start pumping, like 4 damage on 2 cards, this is like nothing, absolutely nothing. So we just say okay. Really? I mean, I will just play a dance step then. So we go for long goodbye here, that lowers the damage for the next turns, and we start cycling. And on average we always draw more removal than they draw creatures. Yeah. I mean, you know how it ends. You know how it ends. Our opponent doesn't, but he will be aware very soon. We cannot use the fish to block this because of the double strike. And honestly, I think this is the time. This is a nice 2-for-1. And that's what gives us also the win con, so it's just perfect. Especially that we can use Fountainports to create treasure, so even if we never draw lands, because we draw removal, it's absolutely fine. I mean, I hope you are drawing 3 creatures from the top, because that's how much removal I have. Sure. I will wait until they pump it. Let's go for the treasure, because we want to cast Virtue on the first dead turn that we'll see. If you play this, you actually can throw, because they can deal 24 damage with this, if they have perfect hand probably. So you just wait. You cast this when they have no creatures, or you just make more treasures so you have removal on top of the Virtue. Well, you really wanted it, huh? I tell you, man, they will leave moment we remove every single creature. And because it's an exile effect, we get 0 damage. They wasted all the cards, and now they need to wait even longer. I actually don't need the card. I will just go for the fish because I'm at 21 against mono red aggro. Sorry, it's Boros, but let's be honest, it's still mono red. I guess this one doesn't run Swift Spear, so maybe it's a different deck. Hard to say. Alright, so you can see that there is some unhappiness on the other side. You can already feel, because let's look at ours. You can clearly tell what happened here. I think we have the first angry red player that is trying to rope us for today. So, yep, that should be a passing turn. Oh, we drew more removal, somehow. So let's play the Virtue and show our opponent that we are prepared. So we will cut the video again, because that is a salty rope for full time. Let's enjoy the explosion, shall we? And let's look at the history of this amazing match. Well, there was so much more. I'm a little bit sad and disappointed that our opponent didn't see our hand as well. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this unique video, and before we go into the stats, because I will show you the full stats, it's one of the most important part of this, experiment, let's say. So you will see also splits with the matchups and, all the games, which was first, all this kind of stuff. But before we go there, I want to say a huge thank you to our amazing Patreon supporters that allow crazy things like this to happen and, enable content every single day. So thank you guys for, caring about the channel. And yeah, let's go to the juicy part, because guys, you probably don't really need to, know too much how to play the deck. If the card is highlighted and the creatures in the board, you know what to do. The fun part is that on the draw we don't really care if we basically it's better for us to be on the draw, because we still remove creature on turn 1 most of the time, and that means we have more cards than our opponent. So I actually had higher win rate on the draw. So let's go to the juicy part. We won 6 games and we lost 3 of them. So we ranked up, and that means that we won twice as many games as we lost, which is absolutely crazy. I honestly went for like 50% win rate, because obviously like you cannot win every game just by playing removal, right? And the stats blew my mind. It means that you are basically crushing it. By the way, for comparison, mono red on average has around 60 to 65% win rate, I believe. So we actually beat tier 1 decks with this one. Of course, it's small sample, but I think it really shows the point that you don't need to do anything. Virtue of Persistence is the culprit for a lot of wins. We still needed something like Sheoldred or Virtue or Fountainport, because even if you kill all the creatures, there are some players that still don't want to leave the game, even if they should know that the game is over. And that's their right. So that's why we need to slot a little bit of, something that kills them. And the point with Sheoldred is that if your opponent doesn't play removal, he cannot win against Sheoldred, especially not without creatures. So this is one card that instantly will force a very quick lethal. And with Fountainports, we can always, find an extra card. So what about those stats? You have seen, all the games in basically the ordering that we have played. Honestly, I kinda saw the real split. We have seen 3 out of those 9 games as mono red. You need to count Rakdos as mono red, because this is basically a mono red with the sellsword. That's why it seems like Rakdos, but it's just mono red. So we actually faced 1/3 of all the decks was mono red. It's close to what meta stats are. We have seen some rabbits and all of this stuff. We have seen some mice. So I think we got a pretty good representation of what we are playing against on average. This is kind of crazy, because you basically really cannot lose against mono red. The only way you can lose against mono red is if you don't draw removal. And we basically have every card as a removal here. Even Sis and Desist, even though it's not a removal, it will live gain and it will draw you another card which should be removal. So that's why we are playing so little lands, because the only realistic situation where you lose against mono red is if you draw too many lands and too little removal. So that's why we made sure that we can play the whole game out of 2 lands, and 4 lands is basically the late game. And I think it all worked like a charm, better than I expected. And listen, every time I joke that the best deck is just 40 removal spells and 20 lands, here you go. I did what I said, and I proved the point that you can rank up with this actually way better than I expected. So guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I cannot wait for your comments, and just tell what you think. And I will end the video with just saying that honestly, the main point of the video is just to entertain you and just have some fun together and laughs. And I think we really did it very well. But we seem to be onto something, and I really do hope you enjoyed this video. And even if you are an aggro player watching this channel, know that I do appreciate you, because it takes bravery to watch a control channel while being an aggro player. So I still hope you had a great laugh, and we all in the end love Magic, and we want to play it in the best version it is. So I hope the video was fun, and see you guys tomorrow.